Hey guys, we're going to do it today. We are going to look at these drum mics. So a few weeks ago I got hold of these Sontronics drum mics and I did some videos with them. You might have seen I put a little video out, a little kind of teaser video of me playing the drums with these drum mics. Well, today I'm going to do the full review of them. I'm going to tell you what I think about them and give you some pros and cons and all that kind of information. So let's dig in and let's have a look at these drum mics. So as I say, these are the Sontronics drum mics. This is called the drum pack. It comes in this case, and inside the case here we have a kick drum mic, a snare drum mic, and 3 tom mics. So the kick drum mic is the DM-1B, this thing. The snare drum mic is the DM-1S, and the tom mics are the DM-1T. Now the snare drum mic and the tom mic actually look identical. The two bodies of these microphones are exactly the same. The specifications are slightly different for them though, so there obviously is some slightly different internal electrical stuff going on inside, but the actual outside of them is identical. So the only way you can tell the difference between them is looking at the codes on the front. So do make sure if you get a set of these mics, you make sure you use the snare drum mic on the snare drum and the tom mics on the toms, because they are slightly different. So the kit that I got was this one, which came with these, but it didn't have any overheads in it. I think you can buy the kit with the overheads as well, but I chose to go for separate overheads. Now I have in the past done a video about drum mics and ins and outs of drum mics, and I'll maybe throw a link up to that up here so you can go and have a look at that one. And when I did that one at the time, I really realised just how good large diaphragm overhead mics sound, and I was a big fan of the sound of the large diaphragms, and so I didn't go for the set with the overhead condenser mics because they were small diaphragm condenser mics, and I knew that I wanted to try a large diaphragm condenser mic overhead. So I decided to pair it with the Sontronics STC2, this large diaphragm, and it comes in this case with the cradle as well. So that was the overheads that I was using. Now all of these mics straight out of the box, I was really pleased with the quality. The build quality of these is great. They're really well made, they're very, very solid. Just, yeah, everything about them just feels very professional. It feels like it could be taken out and gigged and used around. They do feel pretty solid, and everything came cased. You get the black plastic case for the drum kit mics and the metal aluminium case for the overhead mics. Everything's all nice and secure and safe, and everything is all solid metal bodies. There is no plastic anywhere on any of these, I don't think. Even the cradle here is all solid metal. So good build quality. I was very, very pleased with that. I thought they seemed to be very durable, very tough looking microphones. Even down to the grills on here, it all just feels very solid, very rigid. Yeah, feels like it would be very usable, very giggable. You can take these out and not have to worry too much about them. With regards to price, the drum kit mic set that I got with the 5 mics in it, that mic set has a recommended retail price of about £600. You might be able to find it for a bit less online, but it was about £600, the recommended retail price. And then these large diaphragm condensers, the recommended retail for these was about 200 quid, £199 for the overhead mics. Now price wise, that puts it about in line with the Audix D series mics. So many of you may be familiar with the Audix microphones. They're very popular, very common drum microphones. And Audix actually make two ranges of microphones. They've got their F series and the D series. The F series is the budget series and the D series is the more premium series. And this kit actually is price-wise very similarly priced to the D series, Audix D series microphones, so that premium upper end price point. And part of the reason for that is because all of these mics are condensers. So the kick drum mic is a condenser mic, the snare drum mic's a condenser mic, and the tom mics, these are all condenser mics, and of course the overhead mics are condensers as well. So all of these are condensers. And so you would expect condenser mics to be slightly more expensive than dynamic microphones. They're a bit more expensive to make, there's more complicated electronics going on inside there. So that is probably part of the reason why they are that price point. But it's worth bearing that in mind, we'll come back to that in a minute. But it is worth bearing that in mind when we look at prices and when we compare these against other microphones. So these microphones, price-wise, will sit fairly similarly to the Audix D series microphones. They are that kind of more premium price point. Okay, so the big question then, what did I think about the sound quality of these microphones? Well, I played a little bit of it at the beginning of this video. You will have heard in the intro me testing these drum mics out. That was me playing with these drum mics. And I was fairly pleased with the sound that I was able to get from them. I thought they sounded fairly reasonable. The sound samples that I've put up here is completely unedited. All I did was just set gain levels. There's no compression, no EQ, nothing on these. It's just completely out of the mic as they sound. So it's quite live, it's quite raw. Obviously you can tweak that and adjust that by putting some processing on that in your mixing desk or whatever you're going to use. But just straight out of the microphone, I thought they did a fairly good job. However, it is worth just having a little dive into these microphones and just see what is going on as we listen to those mics in isolation. So let's just do that for a minute. I've got some clips over here that we can have a look at on the screen and just analyse this audio a little bit. Okay, so that was the snare drum mic on its own in isolation. Now, what we could hear there was the snare drum sounded fine, it sounded great, as I say, a little bit live, a little bit raw, but with a bit of processing and EQ and compression and stuff on that, we can tighten that up. But we do find that we get a lot of bleed. Now, bleed is when you try and position a microphone over one particular instrument, but when you do that, you actually find that you're also picking up other instruments around it. So, for example, we could position a guitar microphone over a guitar cab, but if your guitar cab is too close to the drum kit, you might find that the drums bleed onto that microphone. That's what we call bleed. Now, when we put all that together, that doesn't really matter all that much. Personally, I don't really mind that I'm getting hi-hat bleeding onto my snare drum mic, because when I play all my drum mics together, I'm going to need to hear some hi-hat. There are times when that might be problematic, particularly with things like the hi-hat. Hi-hat does have a tendency to bleed quite a lot. And the hi-hats that I'm actually using in this recording are very, very dry. So they are really quite quiet and really fairly dry sounding hi-hats. So they don't actually spread all that much. So the fact that we can hear them on that snare drum means that this would pick up a lot more. If you do have bright sounding, very kind of crisp hi-hats, they would really cut through a lot more. These actually don't tend to cut very much anyway. And this was really the picture that I found across the board. So if we go ahead and look at the bass drum mic, for example. Okay, so there we did again find some bleed. The snare drum was bleeding through into that bass drum mic, and that might be a bit more difficult to clean that out actually. You might be able to do a little bit of EQing to filter some of that out, but the snare drum frequencies could very well impact on the bass drum a little bit, so that might be a tricky one to get rid of. But again, if you put it all in context, it's not necessarily the end of the world. And I found the same to be true with the tom mics as well, just everything was bleeding onto everything else. And that is a big part down to the fact that these are condenser microphones, and condenser microphones are that bit more sensitive, and they are going to pick up more things around them. They are going to be that more sort of open sounding microphone that just picks up a bit of everything that's going on around it. Now, as I say, personally, I don't mind that in this situation when we're picking up just a drum kit. Having a bit of bleed from other microphones is not the end of the world. There are a couple of things to watch out for. Watch out for phasing. You could get phasing problems with microphones phasing with picking up different instruments at different times, so do just watch out for that and try to listen out for that beforehand, because that's quite a big problem to try and fix that later on. So if you find you're getting phasing problems, that's a potential with these microphones. And as I've said, if you've got very washy, very cutty cymbals that are going to really spread themselves across all the microphones, you might find that you get a lot of cymbal sounds cutting through onto all of the microphones. And then you might just find that you can't then control those cymbal volume levels. Those cymbal volumes are just going to be on all of your microphones. However, as you may have kind of guessed from my tone and the way that I'm speaking here, there is a situation where this becomes problematic. Now, it wasn't an issue for me here because the only thing that was going on in the room was drums, and all I wanted to pick up was drums, and all I could hear was drums, and that was fine because that was all I needed. But if you put that drum kit on a stage with a lot of other instruments, with guitars and keyboards and singers and whatever else you've got going on, suddenly now we might have some fairly big problems, because now we're not just going to pick up drums on all of those microphones, but we're also going to pick up guitar on all of those microphones, and singers on all of those microphones, and keyboards on all of those microphones. And when we start doing that, now we have a fairly significant problem that we have to deal with. So overall, I thought the build quality was great, and I thought the sound quality was very good as well, but that big con for me is that bleed and those problems that you might get when you put this on a stage with other instruments. Now, there are some situations where I can see these drum mics working quite well. If you are doing recording studio type work where you're only going to be recording drums in isolation, then great, these could be really good microphones and they could work very well for you. But if you're going to use them in a live situation with other instruments, you might find you start getting problems. The other place that they also might work is if you've got a good drum booth, and if your drums are isolated from the other instruments, you might be able to get away with these microphones in that context too. But you will also have to be careful of reflected sound inside the drum booth. One of the problems with drum booths is they can reflect sound because you've got hard plastic screens all around your drums. There's lots of sound reflections going on, and so you might find that these pick up a lot of those reflections as well, so that could also be a negative in that situation too. So these microphones, I think, really work very specifically in very specific situations. Basically, drums in isolation, I think they could be fine, but it's only really that one specific situation where they work to their best, and if you put them in any other situation, I think you might find you start getting some more problems. So if you're looking for a set of mics to put on your drum kit for general church worship type use, I would probably say look elsewhere, and particularly when we talk about the prices at the beginning, you've got those Audix F-series and D-series microphones. These compare in price-wise to the D-series microphones, the more premium set of microphones. Actually, the Audix F-series microphones are also pretty good. So you could actually spend less money on the Audix F-series mics and probably get something that will work better for you in a live situation anyway, or even spend the same amount of money, get the D-series mics, fantastic set of microphones, and they will definitely do a better job for you in a live situation with lots of other instruments around you. They're dynamic, they're much more controlled, and they probably will pick up sound just as well as these ones would. For those situations, I would definitely be looking at something more like that than these. So that's it, my thoughts on the Sontronics drum mic sets. Hopefully that has been helpful to you. As always, if it has, please give it a thumbs up and a like and a subscribe and all those other things that you can click. If there's a button around to click it, hit that button. Just preferably not the thumbs down one, but all the others, click them, go away, hit all those buttons wherever they are. Click, 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 click. Do it now, thank you. It really does help the channel if you can do all that, so please do, that would be great. And if you have found this video helpful, I would love it if you can share it with other people, anybody else you might think this will be helpful for. Please do that, that also really helps as well. And that is it for this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and join me, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks guys.